retirement, it might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Hey, Janae White of the Coffee Club, tell us what you like about Hot Works in Moorhead.
I love that I can get a full, complete workout in 15 minutes and not spend an hour doing a workout. My favorite workout is the Hot Blast, where I am working out in an infrared heat. Hot Works has 24-hour access, so it can work with any schedule. It's great for weight loss, improved circulation, and detoxification. Get a tour and try it before you sign up. Go to Hot Works Moorhead on Facebook or Instagram.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
Oh my God! Well, welcome to a Thursday edition of Weather and Ag in Focus. Everything from screaming goats to snow squalls to reduced visibility. We got a little bit of everything in the show here today. I want to thank you for joining us. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with our wonderful, talented Ag Director, Bridgette Readel, and our poor little sick young meteorologist, Justin Storm, who's a little under the weather today. Are you feeling better?
Someone said there was a chance for flakes.
Well, I'm
he
not touching
literally
it.
almost gave you sympathy, Justin.
Almost.
Right there.
Just about there.
Almost. We've got some snow out there. We've seen mainly a snow sleet mixture here in the FM area, and that's changed over to mainly some light rain right now, mixed at times with a little bit of snow. But boy, up around your area there, Justin, you've got a nice band of some moderate snow now pulling into the Grand Forks area, stretching from about just south of Grafton through Grand Forks and Crookston. What's it looking like up there?
It looks pretty.
Yeah, as long as you're inside.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's coming down at a nice little rate, but really nothing really sticking to the ground right now. But I'm sure as it keeps up, you'll start to see dustings accumulating on the grass. The road structures are too warm to really accumulate any of that snow, and roads across the area are handling it very well, except for up in the Cavalier area and Langdon, a little bit of scattered ice accumulation up there. Yeah, and then temperatures, even up in Grand Forks, right around 33. We're at 34 here at the studio, so anything that falls isn't going to stick, but it could reduce visibility a little bit, especially just north of town. So keep that in mind if you have any travel plans out there today. And I think, the good news is we're going to warm up. Not in the short term. We're going to see steady temperatures, just slowly falling this afternoon. Windy conditions out of the west-northwest, 20 to 30, and gusty. Tonight we'll hang on to those clouds, lows near 30, northwest 10 to 20. And Friday, mainly cloudy start to the day. I think we'll see a few breaks of sun late in the day with highs in the upper 30s. Lighter winds, though, out of the northwest at 5 to 15. Then the winds ramp back up over the weekend out of the south. That'll help warm us up on Saturday into the mid-40s and could poke into the lower 50s as we head into Sunday. And at least the first part of next week looks mild with temperatures in the 50s. Mid-November, and we're looking at temperatures in the 50s. Can't beat that. Yeah, not too bad, right?
I look at it as each day in November that we have temperatures in the 50s, we're robbing a day away from Old Man Winter, and that's just fine.
That is true.
Indeed it is.
That is absolutely just fine. Good news nationwide, too. I'm sure you got, and Bridgette, you had mentioned something about this a week or so ago, how the Mississippi, the Gulf is actually backing up into the Mississippi due to the low water levels. Well, they have some heavy rain heading towards Louisiana over the next 3 days, so that's great news for them. They need the rain so bad down there. They've got marsh fires going on, so this will really help matters down in the southern tier of the U.S.
Tremendously.
Yeah.
And if you could get it to start raining in about Missouri, so it could continue to go right down the river stream, that would be great, because that whole Mississippi River basin is ridiculously dry, even starting over in the Ohio Valley. So anything you can do to send rainfall their way, I think they would all be very appreciative.
Right. Well, and typical El Nino years, which we're in, again, that's just part of it. Typically, the southern tier of the U.S., is pretty wet, and we haven't seen that yet. But we're over the next week to 10 days. I think I don't know how much. Justin, if you got a chance to look that up, I thought I saw not 6 inches, about 2 to 4 inches of rain in the lower Mississippi Delta there over like through the weekend and into early next week. So that's great news there. And for us though, quiet weather. I think that might be changing though as we head towards. No, what is that? If you're watching us on live stream, that is close to 6 inches, isn't it?
Yeah, that's anywhere from 2 to 8.
Yep. So.
The southeastern portions of Texas, stretching into Mississippi and Alabama, Louisiana, parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa staying dry, it looks like, over the next 10 days. And we'll see a few minor chances up here over that 10-day period for a little precip up in the northern tier of our Red River Valley as well.
Yeah, we're seeing signs that Thanksgiving week things may change. Our models have been going back and forth on that, so we'll kind of see how that pans out. It's about time for a pattern change. We've been pretty dry and pretty quiet around here, and you don't want to see that happen during Thanksgiving week, though.
Right, you guys are saying there might be pretty good weather until we get to Thanksgiving,
and you're going somewhere. You're going somewhere on Thanksgiving, aren't you?
You're traveling, aren't you?
I don't want to reveal things too soon by any means, but perhaps the week after Thanksgiving is the one that I want to make sure is clear.
We're in trouble then. What locally?
Let's see. When is Thanksgiving? Is that the 23rd?
Whatever.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, well, what do you know? Have you looked at the latest American model there, Dean, way at the end of it?
I did.
Yeah, you saw that, Bridgette? Do you want to see it?
No. And I'm just going to take a stab.
I'm going to show you anyway.
It's going to be over by the following Monday, right?
Now, for those watching and listening, on the live stream, I just want to give out that disclaimer. Take this as a grain of salt.
That'll change 5 times between now and then.
This is referred to as La La Land. When you look this far out on these long-range computer models, they're so ridden with errors that more times than not, this never plays out. But what it is hinting at is a couple of decent little storm systems rolling through the central portion of the U.S., bringing in some heavier snow, mixed precip through the southern and central plains. But as this so ridden with errors, do not expect that to actually happen. We'll wait another 10 days.
It's fun to look at, though.
Really look at. Oh man, it's so much fun. And what do you know? That's right before and after Thanksgiving, Bridgette. I'm telling you, I'm a little stunned. Are a weather magnet.
I am a problem is kind of where it looks.
Oh man,
let's revisit this in another week.
Right?
Okay, I would appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Who's our guest on today's show, Bridgette?
Today we are going to have a return, and that will be with Susan Weaver Ford. She's from North Carolina. We talked to Susan previously because she's very close to, I believe it was Asheville, and all of the urban encroachment that comes out on her farm. Also, she has tobacco on the farm and just finished harvest as well as her other crops. So I'm very curious to see what harvest has been like and how do you harvest tobacco? We may have to revisit a lot of questions when it comes to tobacco in visiting with Susan today. I think she'll have some good things for us.
Do you think that the goat is her best friend? What was it? The
one that likes nicotine? They're called the Judas goats.
Yeah.
The Judas goats at slaughter plants. Well, we can ask, but the chances are maybe not. So we'll find out if there's any wildlife that's heavily attracted to those tobacco fields. Maybe they also require a patch instead of just stopping in to chew on the leaves. And I've always been told that if you hand harvest tobacco, you can get a contact high from that. And it's very intense. And as someone who's never smoked cigarettes, this would be wild from what I can figure out.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm going to ask questions.
We'll see. Other things coming up on this show today. A few of our ag topics that we'll be hitting on will be cattle handling safety, cow burp research.
What?
I thought they were doing research on cow farts, Bridget, or is that been definitively debunked at this point?
Well, to be honest, when you see what's going on with cows, the greater escape would probably be in when they burp. And that's probably the greater concern is that front rumen, that front compartment of their stomach is where most of that fermentation process is happening. So yes, there is a great concern as to what may be going on in regards to that research. And it's being done in Wisconsin at University of Wisconsin-Madison, which seems like the right place to do it. Plenty of dairy animals in the state of Wisconsin. And what they're trying to look at is evaluating the selective breeding, milk composition, the rumen microbes to reduce it. So here's the thing. We can blame cattle for releasing methane. I know some other people that can probably do as much as any cow on a given day. But additionally, we need to think about the fact that all of this finger pointing starts when it comes to other industries. It's easy for transportation and manufacturing to say, oh, look, it's got to be the cows. Because farmers probably weren't paying enough attention and commodity groups didn't get out ahead of this in time to say, are you kidding me? It's from a cow. And we're at the lowest number of cattle herd numbers that we've been in 61 years. I don't think the cows are the ones that are the biggest problem. In fact, based on my hairstyles of the 1990s, I probably have my own hole in the ozone layer, compliments of Aquanet. So feel free to give me a call. I'll tell you how to patch that up. Yeah. So I'm not really worried about the cows, but somebody is. And thankfully, with research like this, working on reducing the methane from cattle, producers are taking a positive step. If consumers are concerned and they want a less methane belching cow, that can be done. Now, you can also argue that they drove to the butcher shop in their fossil fuel car, but I also drive one of those fossil fuel vehicles. I'm not going to argue it too much.
And Bridget, I've got a question for you, and I don't know if you'll have the answer.
Sure.
But we're going back and forth here at the studio, and we were talking about wild game meat, specifically venison. Are there any butchers that carry wild game like venison, or is that not allowed to be sold?
I think you can, but there's some pretty specific rules that go along with it.
Okay.
It may depend on your state, because I have seen that where you can buy game, but I think it's pretty specific how that gets done.
I know you can get bison, but I've never seen venison sold. And the reason being was because I was looking to buy some. We were talking about that. I said, I don't think there's any butcher shops or anything like that. I know the grocery stores don't, but I didn't think any butcher shops sold venison.
I don't think you do it specifically on the shelf, but if you think about small towns that have firemen's game feeds, smokers, that kind of thing, they're your special ordering, and they're bringing in things like bear, elk, etc. So there's got to be a way, right?
Okay. You ever eaten
this
bear
is a time
before?
for those listeners. Bear's greasy. That's really fatty.
Is it?
Yeah.
So is duck.
Good,
but for those who are listening, though, this is a great time for them to call at 701-293-9000. That's the Red Wing Shoe phone line. And make sure to let us know if you have accessed wild game like that and how you've done it, besides just a tag and shot it yourself.
Right. Yeah.
So I'd be curious what people think. That would be great.
Awesome.
Interesting. Well, we got to get caught up with the American Egg Network, guys. When we come back, we'll have Susan Weaver on with us from North Carolina. We'll be talking about farming tobacco. And again, that Red Wing Shoes phone line, if you want to ask any questions in regard to that, 701-293-9000. Emails, weather or ag at flagfamily.com. Chat boxes over on YouTube and Facebook. And Dirk, thanks for watching today. Appreciate it. Thanks for the comments over there. If you have any questions, drop them in there. We'll get those answered. But stay tuned. After the American Egg Network, we'll be right back.
Feeders and fats down sharply, hogs mildly higher. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risfet with this market update. Live cattle futures have been unable to draw any additional buyer support back to the complex following a light to moderate price bounce midweek. Now, the market opened today in a bearish tone and continued to weaken through the trading session, with nearby contracts $4 to $5 per hundredweight lower. Additional pressure was in place as the WDAY report was released late morning. That increased expected beef production levels for both 23 and 24 from the previous month's estimates, although overall beef production in 24 is still expected to remain below current year levels. The fact that this gap is being quickly narrowed could add some additional price pressure to all cattle trade. Cash cattle started to slowly develop this morning with light trade reported in both the north and south. Trade in the south is reported at 180 to 181, mostly at 181. This is generally $4 lower than last week's weighted average. Northern trade is seen at 287 live basis, which is $5 lower than last week. Asking prices seem to remain firm at this point, around 183 in the south and 288 to 289 in the north. Now, more trade is expected to be seen before the end of the week, but it is uncertain if early prices will be enough movement to set the overall tone for cash cattle market this week. Boxed beef prices are mixed. Choice up 30 and select down 54 with a movement of 86 loads. We'll get a look at the livestock numbers. You're listening to the American Ag Network.
In today's troubled world, our USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect you, your family, and our American way of life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve your recognition and support. You can help put vets to work by donating your car, truck, or van to Patriotic Hearts. Your donation will directly support programs to help vets find jobs or even start their own business. Donate today for fast, free pickup of your vehicle, running or not. Operators are standing by to answer questions about making a tax-deductible vehicle donation. Find out how you can make a difference in the life of a United States veteran. Call 800-209-6416 for 24-hour response. Call 800-209-6416. 800-209-6416. That's 800-209-6416.
Let's get a look at the livestock numbers. Live cattle December down 415 at 175.25. February down 437 at 175.10. April down 395 at 177.67. And the June live cattle, they're down 387 at 172.72. Feeders November down 515 at 229.40. January down 730 at 225.47. Lean hogs December up 35 at 71.85. February up 52 at 75.37. And the April lean hogs, they're up 52 at 80.90. With crude oil trading up almost a buck at just over $76 a barrel. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
Oh my God! And good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here at Weather and Ag in Focus. Thrilled that you're joining us. And also, a couple of things to keep in mind. As the weather has turned colder, many in our community are in need for a couple of reasons. One, Legacy Plumbing is partnering with WDAY Radio, and we would like your nominations for those who need new furnaces in their homes. Now through the 15th of December, we invite you to go online to WDAYradionow.com and click on our hot link and click on the Warm Heart, Warm Home and tell us why you're nominating someone in Cass or Clay County who needs an update to their furnace. We really appreciate it. Winners will be announced on Monday, December 18th. And don't forget, while you're on our website and you click on that hot links tab, you're also going to want to go to our Build Our Bushels campaign. We custom farmed 20 acres of soybeans, and we managed to take our profitability and we gave it right to the Great Plains Food Bank. Please join us in doing so. We would love to have you increase by donating a bushel, which is just $10, or maybe 5 bushels, that's $50, whatever you so choose. And you can go ahead and help us give more bushels or more dollars to the Great Plains Food Bank, especially with so much going on right now to the holiday season. And as Dean has said, yes, prizes. What are the prizes, Dean?
Well, for whoever donates the most on our bushel campaign here, we are going to give away one of our productive alternative rain gauges, and we're going to give away one of the collectible Bridgette Readel autographed Steiger toy tractors. So that's a great bonus prize. And again, that will go to whoever donates the most through our website on our bushel campaign. So, hey,
through our website or They can call Great Plains Food
They
Bank,
can?
or you can bring a check made out to the Great Plains Food Bank and drop it off at our studios, and we will make sure that all of that is collected and turned over to the food bank.
Yes.
Every dollar counts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Every bushel counts, you might say, too.
It does. Oh man! So I know this isn't off topic, but this really stood out. I don't know if you guys heard our news report at the top of the hour. Did you hear what American Airlines is offering for a captain for a bonus? They're trying to get their shortage of pilots, and they're trying to get pilots from FedEx and UPS. Did you hear what they're offering them just for a bonus to jump ship?
Was it 30
I
grand?
bet it's more than cookies.
Cinnamon rolls.
$250,000 bonuses to captains that would come to their airlines from either FedEx or UPS. That's a bonus.
That's from flying freight to flying people, right? So that can't be hard. I'm sure it's all safe and okay, right? There can't be any different rules.
I believe
probably more difficult to fly freight.
It is more difficult to fly freight. Yeah. Which that doesn't really.
Well, you think about it, they're probably getting paid over $200,000 a year.
Oh, easily. But
so they're probably just getting 1 year's pay.
That's
for switching over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Just 1 year's pay. I mean, for you or me, Dean, that'd be like us going to another news agency for like 15 grand. You just got it now?
It took a little bit.
Oh, goodness.
Why don't we cover some ag topics? Because I believe we lost our signal. Oh, I think Susan might.
Susan.
I think Susan is back. She just got. Yeah.
Okay. She's literally in the field today, I believe. So that works out pretty awesome to get a live report of what's going on in North Carolina. Susan, are you able to join us? Oh, she's going to be. She's getting all set up there. Susan, can you hear us? I bet she will momentarily.
Yeah,
I bet we'll be able to hear the sound of her machine running as soon as she's got it going.
Yeah, we've got her on video, but we can't. She can't get the audio. So, how about we cover a few quick ag topics here, then, Bridgette?
Sure. So one of the things that right now we see a lot of cattle coming back home off pasture from the summer, and just as a reminder about safe cattle handling tactics, as a kid growing up, we thought it was great fun to yell and run and chase. Yeah, the cows didn't really think so. So it is probably a good reminder that it doesn't have to be a rodeo every time you want to bring the cattle home or you want to move them. Keeping things calm and quiet actually is better for the livestock as well as for you. And as someone who has definitely been chased, kicked, and almost launched out a window in a barn by a upset Holstein, I would tell you, slow down when you're out there with them. It's not a bad thing to just take your time and be calm. It's like driving equipment on the highway. You got to be safe. And it also comes down to things like when you're working to treat them and you're working around syringes, there's more than a few instances of things going a little too quickly. And instead of injecting the animal, maybe you got stabbed with one of the syringes. There are some of the products that are used in bovines that are not good for human health. So don't be accidentally having a needle stick while you're out there. That does lead to infection and worse. So let's be safe when we're doing it. And also just regular sanitary practices. When you're working cows.
Well, you know what they say, Bridgette.
Wash your hands.
Sharon is Karen.
In a way, but I can tell stories about an accidental needle stick during processing cattle, and that led to MRSA. So let's maybe not go with that plan, shall we? Everybody be a little careful out there. If you're working cattle, somebody hands you a sandwich, maybe you want to wash your hands before you attack your lunch. Might be a little bit safer in the long run when it comes to food.
So tell me, Bridgette,
problems.
Is this myth a thing or not a thing in regards to cow tipping?
Okay.
Can you tip a cow?
Stand up they're 1,500 to 1,800 pounds. Can you push that over? And you don't think they're going to wake up and give you a look of, What are you doing there, buddy?
I don't know.
You try that. Let us know how that works out.
Well, it's going to be like that scene out of Wild Hogs where they slap a bull.
No, and don't do
I've
that.
never seen someone do it twice.
If I walk up to you and slap you, how do you think your response is going to be? The bull probably thought the same.
He'd like it. Don't fool him.
Again, please.
That's all you got?
That's all you got? You hit like a girl.
All right. We are going to continue to work with our guest today, and that is Susan Weaver Ford. She's in North Carolina. I think she's in the Combine, and we're going to try to get a strong signal so we can visit with Susan. We will reach out to her, and it is 1:30 in the afternoon. We'll do our bottom of the hour news and be right back.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep. We have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker. WDAY News First. Fargo police are searching for an arsonist who's been starting fires in garages. Over the past 6 months, there have been 6 garage fires set in the same area, and police think they're connected. Several of the fires happened at garages at the France Apartments along 42nd Street South. A Moorhead man is in custody after authorities say he was involved in a domestic dispute and burglary. Police went to the 800 block of 7th Avenue South around 7:30 last night. The suspect, 28-year-old Levester Levante Lee Adams, left before police arrived. Police later arrested Adams in a home in the 100 block of 16th Street South on several charges. A healthcare advocate is calling for children and teens to wear chest protectors while riding ATVs and UTVs.
We were seeing an uptick in the number of injuries coming into our ERs from these ATV or UTV crashes, the razors, the gators, the ATVs, in alarming numbers.
Karma Hansen is Safe Kids Coordinator at All True Health System in Grand Forks. And there are more than 2,000 design submissions for what will become Minnesota's new state flag. Submissions were made public Wednesday. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
Kelly and crew at Kelly's Cafe salute and thank all of the veterans in our armed forces who have served and given their time, sacrifice, and service. We owe you our thanks. Wishing all a safe Veterans Day from Kelly's Cafe in Arthur, North Dakota.
New Leaf Hospitality is hiring for all positions throughout Western North Dakota, with careers in hospitality and the ability to grow into a management role with on-the-job training. Positions include front desk, housekeeping, laundry attendant, server, bartender, line cook, maintenance technician, as well as supervisor positions. New Leaf Hospitality provides exceptional benefits, including competitive pay, health plans, 401k, Aflac, and health savings account options. For more information, visit the careers page at newleafhospitality.com.
Kelly and crew at Kelly's Cafe salute and thank all of the veterans in our armed forces who have served and given their time, sacrifice, and service. We owe you our thanks. Wishing all a safe Veterans Day from Kelly's Cafe in Arthur, North Dakota.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Oh, you gotta love the screaming goat. And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:34 in the afternoon. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and we finally got our guest. Our guest today, Susan Weaver Ford. She's been on our show before. She's a North Carolina tobacco farmer. Susan, welcome to our show, and thanks for joining us again. How's it going out in beautiful North Carolina?
Day today, kind of overcast. Beautiful day.
And it sounds like you're out harvesting currently. Is that the case?
Yes, sir. I'm in the combine picking beans.
All right. So how's the tobacco harvest been so far?
We finished up about middle of October, and it was actually a wonderful year. We averaged a little over 2,200 pounds to the acre. But better than that, the tobacco companies really needed it and wanted it. So it worked out great for us as tobacco farmers this year with low supply, low stock, and storage.
Okay, so I have a lot of questions that go along with that. When you talk about tobacco, Susan, do you have a contract ahead of time, or is it more like an open market that the companies come to you looking to buy tobacco based on their supply situation, or do you already have an idea how things are going to go as you get closer to harvest?
We have contracts. They'll sign us. It used to be in December, and it got as late as sometimes March. We see greenhouses in February, middle of February. So, but recently they started doing a better job of trying to, tell us our pounds in January. So we have a contract going into the season. So we know how.
And when you go into that contract, are you selling to them based on the number of pounds you can supply? Is there, like, when we talk about sugar beets, we talk about tons and then sugar bonuses. Do you get bonuses on top for any particular reason when you're selling them tobacco?
There's some incentive-based pricing, I guess you could call it. I have one contract with a company that if you deliver MH-free tobacco, they'll pay you a little extra if you'll, some of them is a poundage. If you'll deliver X amount of pounds of your contracted pounds, you get a little incentive. I have a couple different contracts. Some of them go ahead and pay you up front, when you sell. But we it's based on quality. So, you have 4 different stock positions and then quality from that. As your tips, it would be like a T1 being your best grade to maybe a T4 being your worst grade.
Okay, Susan, we got tons of questions. Let's start with this one. How do you harvest tobacco? Where do you even begin when those plants are, and how do you know the plants are mature?
So we set out about middle of April and then start topping and sucker and get the flower out of the top in June. You have to remember now we have leaf years, we're not burley. So when we harvest 4 different times. That same plant and get harvested 4 different times. Some guys still crop on foot. They send guys out there and they start with the bugs, then cutters, and then the beat tobacco, and then the tip or the leaf being the beat tobacco. But we have automatic croppers. There are 2-row machines, got defoliators, and they crop stalk position. We can move the headers up and down to where we are. And then we have a once-over machine. It's a Granville stripper is what it's called, and it's a once-over. So when we get to the top of the stalk, we get it a little differently. Instead of rubber paddles with the defoliators, these are cutter bars. They're metal bars with little blades on them. It's a little different.
Okay, so you can do a machine harvest, but I also heard you say that folks can walk and they'll have a glove and they'll just cut the plants. And I know this sounds crazy. I had heard many years ago that if you have direct contact with tobacco like that, you can literally get a contact high. Is that the case, that folks are pretty covered up when they're out in those fields?
Yes, ma'am. They typically wear, when I was growing up, I guess we didn't really understand what green tobacco sickness was, but nowadays it's been identified and labeled. So, but a lot of guys, they'll wear, like some kind of trash bag and gloves and a hat. They prefer the trash bag. I know it may sound different to some people, That's why they wouldn't wear a poncho or a rain jacket or anything like that. But they prefer the trash bag because it breathes, it goes all the way to their ankles. And some guys wear gloves, guys don't wear gloves. I guess it's just a personal preference. Me personally, I would not. I'd rather be able to touch the plant and feel it, to have a glove on.
Man, this sounds like the best PPE ever. So, okay, once you've got these plants,
we have everything in the world, and they still go back asking for trash bags. So we try to keep them as happy as we can.
Now, after you've harvested, are you still using like tobacco drying sheds, or does the tobacco go in a variety of stages, whether it's completely dry or slightly green or anything like that?
No, so we have box barns now. Everybody around here mostly uses box barns. So it depends on the stalk position. The lower the stalk, the harder it is to cure, and it takes longer. So we'll put, say, 1,800 pounds of lugs in a box, and it stays in that barn for typically 8 to 9 days till it dries out. So everything, when that barn goes in, that barn stays in until we are ready to take it out. Until we get it in order to take it out. So we're drying it down to take all the water out, but when we take it out, we have to put the water back into it so it doesn't crumble.
Oh, so how do you put the water back in? Do you mist the plants with some kind of
steam it?
No, because it's just the leaf that's going in. So if it's lugs, let's say the bottom 3 to 4 leaves on the stalk at the very bottom of the plant, we work from the bottom to the top, and so we'll put it in once it dries down, and you can reach in and feel that there's no no what we call swell stem. So it's dried out and all the water's gone. We have an ordering system that we put on it, and it's underneath the bottom of the motor, and it sucks that water in and blows it through. But you have to put heat on it as well.
Huh. I would never have thought about all of these steps.
It's a hard and delicate process.
And Susan, do you sell locally the tobacco?
Yes. I am very fortunate. I live, within 25 minutes of Wilson, North Carolina. It's the greatest tobacco market on the face of the earth, and so I mean, there's guys coming out of Georgia and South Carolina to come all the way to Wilson to sell. But I mean, everybody I sell to is right there. I've got Philip Morris, I've got Alliance One, Universal, U.S. Tobacco Cooperatives, Helen Cotton. So yes, I'm very fortunate in where I'm located to be able to get to market.
Susan, is tobacco crop, when you're growing this, is this I guess relatively a maintenance-free crop, or is this a pretty intensive thing to grow?
It's pretty intensive thing to grow. I mean, you're from the time you put the greenhouse, set the greenhouse, or sow the greenhouse in February, you're in it until right at November. I mean, because, you have to look after the greenhouse curtains every day until they come out in April. Then you're plowing 2 or 3 times, depending on how many times you need to plow. You're putting a lot of fertilizer. We have a fertilizer rig that we put, banded right beside the road. That's 2 trips, 3 trips when you count the cal nitrate, just on that one rig alone. My father does all the spraying, and pretty much Monday to Sunday from, Monday to Saturday. We don't work on Sunday, I apologize. Monday to Saturday from anywhere from 6 to 7 in the morning until it gets hot. Say around lunchtime, he's in the sprayer spraying with, contact or whatever he can, whatever he's spraying, fungicide, contact, insecticide, so, and that stays pretty much through July. He stays pretty busy in that.
Wow.
And then so the guys that chop and sucker, so they it's a lot of hand labor.
So when you deliver your tobacco, Susan, is it in a bale? Is it like loose in a truck that you can just lift a hoist, like when you dump soybeans at an elevator? How does that work?
No, ma'am, we bale it. The lower salt tobacco is in about a 750-pound bale. And then once you get to the upper salt, the tips, they will let you go to 850 pounds. But we never do that. It'll take heat, and you don't want it to take heat. So yes,
That's
we
a big
stick around
cigarette.
Yeah, they're pretty heavy. I mean, you can't pick it up.
Okay, so speaking of that though, Justin,
Do I?
Susan, does your tobacco go to cigarettes, or is it snuff,
Yep.
or do you have like
Yep.
different grades?
It goes into cigarettes.
Okay.
So how many cigarettes can you make on an acre of tobacco?
Ooh, that's about my grade. I don't know. Probably find out. But they put a lot of filler and a lot of stuff in it, so I don't know exactly. I shouldn't say, but yeah, that's why there's 4 different salt positions. They have to blend and they got their own recipes.
Interesting.
So when you're harvesting the tobacco, and I know you already kind of touched on this, but I'm trying to get more of a visualization. Whether it's going through by hand or through a piece of machinery, are you just picking the leaves off of it? Is it being ground up like lettuce, or what does that kind of look like when you're harvesting tobacco? What exactly is it on the plant that you're taking?
So we're taking the leaves off, the whole leaf, and that's why they're rubber defoliator paddles, so it doesn't bruise the tobacco. So we're wanting to get a whole leaf from the stalk to the bale. That's what we're looking for. So yes, a pet peeve of mine is when it does look like slaw and it chews it up. That's not good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking for a whole leaf every time.
So is there any, Bridge, I know you got, I'm going to ask one more, let you finish up here, B.
Sure.
Is there any major thing that really hits tobacco crop pretty hard? I mean, is there any bugs or animals out there just looking for a quick buzz and they're eating off the leaf or something, and that damages the product on your end?
Yes, we have a lot. We got, a couple diseases, say tomato spotted wilt virus that can spread pretty quickly. We have bramble wilt and black shank. They're soil-borne, get into the stalk, and the whole stalk could die. Or we have hornworms, budworms that we're spraying for a lot. They come for that flower, the tender part at the top of the stalk that they really enjoy. So that's another reason that we spray is for worms. So yes, it's a quick crop to have today and gone tomorrow.
So we just had an internet question come in, and does your tobacco go to cigarettes in the States, or do you know if it goes overseas, Susan? Do you think yours is a domestic product?
Yes, ma'am. Because so we sell to one manufacturer in Philip Morris, so they are a cigarette manufacturer, so it will go to a domestic cigarette. But now you take somebody like Universal, or maybe not necessarily Universal, but a receiving station that's a buyer. They may have a contract with China or another country, and you never really exactly are 100% sure as to where it may be going. But yes, I can.
Okay. So
I can certainly see that going to Philip Morris is going into a U.S. cigarette.
And Susan, real quick, is how many tobacco farmers are there in the United States, and where are most of them located?
So for me and Fluke-Cured, most of us guys are predominantly located within Southern Virginia, mostly Eastern North Carolina, down into Georgia, and I think there may be still one or two guys in North Florida that may be growing. I'm not exactly sure, but I would, maybe because I'm a little biased, would have to say most leaf is grown in Eastern North Carolina. It's a very weather-dependent crop. It likes hot, humid weather, and you just don't get that weather everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So, like the weather.
And when you said that, about hot, humid weather, Susan. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying Burley is grown like Kentucky and Western North Carolina, where they cut the whole stalk and then hang it upside down to let it dry and then grate on the table. That's not us. We're completely different. So we're here. We're more hot, humid. So that's why we get leaf position or stalk positions and not the whole stalk.
Okay, there's a lot about
You have to
tobacco. I had
figure-
no idea. Like you said, the burley versus what you're doing, etc. That's very cool.
Yes, ma'am. So we're getting, say, every time we pass, like on lugs, the first cropping, we're wanting to get 3 to 4 leaves. And then the cutters are next to come. They're just above that on the stalk. We're looking to get 2 to 3 leaves. Then the leaf tobacco, which we call bee tobacco, is the third stalk position that we would want to get, maybe 3 to 5 leaves and then get the balance of it on the tips. But it depends on what the company's looking for as well, for what their, recipe is for their cigarette.
Susan Weaver Ford, you are a wealth of information to things that we had no idea. So thank you so very kindly, especially while you're in the combine picking beans today.
You're so welcome. I enjoy speaking with you guys.
Well,
Yeah,
you
thanks,
just never know
Susan.
when we'll call you again.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. Have a good
Sounds
harvest.
good. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep.
All right,
Wow.
folks,
I had no idea.
we've got to regroup. I mean, I got a ton of questions that I'm just going to have to think about here and try to look up as well. But while we do that, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with our last check of the weather and a couple more of our ag headlines and wrapping up before the Jay Thomas Show. So stay tuned.
Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
The team at Fix It Ford Auto Care is unique, trustworthy, and driven to serve. Help others while you get your auto fixed at Fix It Ford Auto Care in Moorhead. Find out more online at fixitfordautocare.com.
Mike Lindell is always looking for ways to solve everyday problems. Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then you go home to use it and it's not very absorbent and it doesn't dry you?
That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. The 6-piece sets have 100% long staple Shapur cotton.
It is a combined ring spun cotton that make the towels softer and more absorbent than ever. Towels that actually dry you.
And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $29.98 with promo code WDAY.
Go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio podcast specials to receive this amazing offer for only $29.98 on the 6-piece set off MyPillow towels. Just go to MyPillow.com.
That's MyPillow.com, promo code WDAY.
Click on the radio podcast special and enter promo code WDAY or call 800-875-0644.
And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $29.98. MyPillow.com, promo code WDAY.
Bonjour! Let Reed Event Center at Reese and Riley's Olive Oil and Bistro Bar in Moorhead host your next party, reunion, or corporate gathering, featuring an exquisite Mediterranean culinary experience with local ingredients and fresh handmade pasta, including gluten-free options. Casual or formal, Reed Event Center offers a unique and sophisticated experience. For bookings, call Reed Event Center at 218-303-1279 or visit reeseandrileys.com. Bon appetit!
It's about tradition, values, and family ties. Pucklet Chevrolet GMC's tradition of giving back to our community remains a priority, and that's why we've partnered with many local nonprofit organizations and events. And our tradition of giving this community a fair and honest offer continues. This month, save nearly $7,000 on select new 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500s. We're Pucklet Chevrolet GMC in Valley City. Tradition, values, and family ties.
See dealer for details.
Get ready for a heartwarming experience with Legacy Plumbing and Heating. At Legacy, our mission is simple: to provide the best plumbing and heating experience in town, while also being dedicated to serving our community.
You can make a difference today by nominating a family in need for a brand new furnace thanks to Legacy Plumbing and Heating with the Warm Heart, Warm Home Initiative. Visit WDAYradionow.com today and nominate someone in need.
Remember, life flows better with Legacy. Join us in spreading warmth and love this season of giving.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants, to polos and khakis, to Oxfords or T-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like, you convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
Oh my God!
Play that first one again. I want to hear the little happy-go-lucky tune.
You like that one?
I do like it.
I'm not sure what we need.
It's no little petunia and an onion patch, mind you, but it's so close.
It is close to that, isn't it?
I need to get.
Oh man, you're bringing back the old days there.
That song. Oh. Should we sing it aloud together?
No, let's not. No, that we don't want to do. Let's do a quick recap.
Still probably catch a copyright flag.
Let's do a quick recap of the weather. There are some snow showers still pushing in from the north. They're just pushing south of Grand Forks right now, stretching from, let's say about Hillsboro to just south of Grand Forks. That's all moving southward. Snowing right now around Twin Valley area and just north of Fargo, nearing Hillsboro, and then through Grand Forks and up towards Park River, all moving southward. So we got one more band of snow here to move through the FM area. It might be mixed in with a little rain or sleet, so keep that in mind if you're out and about. We're not looking at any travel problems. Now, if you go north of Grand Forks, there have been some slippery spots reported on 29, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, just kind of a nuisance type of snow, but you factor in the stronger winds with it, and you might see some reduced visibility as a few of these bands of snow move through, and then we'll quiet it down tonight. After being in the 30s today, we're stuck in the 30s tomorrow, but then we warm into the 40s on Saturday. It'll be breezy over the weekend, but then we should be in the low 50s as we head into Sunday and next week. Looking mild, at least the start of it. Looks mild with temperatures in the 50s. 50s in mid-November. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, and Bridgette. So we didn't ask Bridgette. When you were gone earlier this week, we had a snowfall contest. I know we talked about it yesterday. Do you have any early guesses on what the snowfall is going to be this year?
We're talking total accumulation from now till the end of the winter months?
Yeah, we've already got 2 inches officially here in Fargo.
Look, I want to be super optimistic and tell you like 24, but then there's a part of me that's thinking 87 sounds about right, and that just makes me want to lie down under my desk and have a George Costanza moment.
Right.
So, yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
it's hoping for the best.
Yeah, thanks for those over in the live streams, sending over comments and questions. Appreciate that. And Dirk commented time to recap what we've learned today, and that's don't chase cattle. Don't try and tip cows. They'll give you a nasty look. Be careful when needles and cows. And last, really big rolling papers for bales of leaves.
Right. Well, it's a 750-pound bale.
That's a big cigarette.
Man.
That's a lot going on.
That's a lot of tobacco.
No tipping cows, but you guys ever been snipe hunting? Bridgette, you ever heard of that?
I have, but I might have been the one
quota?
Right.
See,
maybe I was the one who led the excursion, and I might have fibbed a little bit.
Just a little. We're out of time already. Well, that's going to do it for us today on Weather and Ag in Focus. For Bridgette, myself, and Justin, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Careful of those screaming goats. Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.